14 communist agitators who traveled to Cuba to party at the Cuban people's expense, enjoying drinks and electricity while much of the country remained in the dark, have been detained upon arrival at Miami International Airport. Yay! Yay! I love communists getting detained! And this is just video we've seen of the party before. Get fucked, commies! You love to see it. So I was like, that's pretty fucking great. I would like a secondary source to back it up. And it seems like the secondary source is going to be them themselves. This is from the Code Pink Instagram.
We are at the Miami airport on our way back from Cuba, where over a dozen of us have been detained for over 3 hours. Many of our phones were taken and searched, laptops as well. Others were released. They were asking us what we were doing in Cuba. When we all answered that we were bringing a humanitarian aid, they pulled up articles where that's exactly what we were doing.
What do you mean they pulled up articles where that's exactly what you were doing? The only articles I've seen have been showing partying and how you're in the only building with electricity. What did she mean by this?
They are directly trying to instill fear in us to not continuing to go on and be on the side of humanity.
Communists have never been on the side of humanity. I don't know if you've read literally anything in history, but they've never been on the side of humanity, lady. Come on, dude.
Whether that's in Cuba or whether that's in Palestine, we know that our comrade Tiago is still being held in Panama for over 3 hours as well. He was
also, yeah, I agree, Skewky. I'm disappointed. Oh no, they got detained for basic questioning. The horror, fascism has taken over. I was hoping this was like an actual detainment, but this is just like, you went to somewhere that we usually tell people not to go. Let's ask you a few questions, shall we?
Also part of the delegation.
Well, they were asking me a lot about Venezuela. They barely asked me about Cuba. I did overhear the agents kind of joking about how many of us they were interrogating. And some of them were saying, oh, I want to get more. So for that...
Good! Like, what are we doing here?
It was a big joke to harass activists who were helping the Cuban people.
It is always the morally correct thing to do to question communists.
3 agents that were in my room continually kept saying how the Cuban people, they were just on Cuba, essentially. I asked one of them, are you Cuban? And he was like, no, but I've been. He knew the hotel that we stayed in and had all this information and said how bad of a look it was. And he was like, the Cuban people want Marco Rubio. You guys were down there throwing cookies at little kids. A whole bunch of bullshit.
I just don't believe you that some guy interviewing you and asking you questions about why you're in Cuba says the Cuban people want Marco Rubio. Unless it was in a heavy satirical tone after you said something really fucking dumb. Look at us, we're feeding the poors.
That is obviously just from the capitalist and right-wing people here in Miami. But yeah, maybe 10 consecutive comments about how Cuba hates us and they want Trump to take it over.
What the fuck? I don't want Trump to take over Cuba. Not my 51st state.
We're going there to help people who they're maybe related to, and they're still pulling us out. And so it just really exemplifies the hatred of the people in the United States towards the people of Cuba. And this is a delegation that represented love.
They wanted to know about my parents and my family in Cuba and where they lived and who they were, and that made me a bit nervous.
The fact that they took my phone and laptop, honestly, it was worth it because I got to deliver not only the 6,300 pounds of aid that we brought, but my partner and I brought.
Where are all the videos of distributing the aid? Where are all the videos of that?
Over 100 pounds of aid in our own bags. And we know that it helped the Cuban people, and it disgusts me that they did this to us, but it was to be expected.
That was way whinier and way less exciting than I was hoping. Man, I wish they had gotten actually detained, not just questioned normally at an airport. As just sounds like standard customs inspection. Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything weird at all. Some Marvel Rivals streamer said the word retard, and then some other woman got horrifically offended, even though that woman basically is okay telling people to die if they say the N-word. That's okay. That's if you say the N-word, you actually deserve to lose your life. But saying retard, that's, you know, that's a step too far for that woman. You can't say that. Fan addresses the retard backlash, doubles down, linked me a tweet from this dumb bitch. That's a quote. So let's listen to her talk about the dumb bitch in her own words, shall we?
Imperator linked me a fucking tweet from this dumb bitch on Twitter who's like, I can't watch any big Marvel rival streamers because they're all horrible people for saying retard.
Fucking imagine.
Big Marvel rival streamer? I also got linked a screenshot of one of her tweets, and it was one of her tweets quote retweeting Necros. Necros being like, I don't think people are banning supports because I don't actually think people are banning supports because they're sexist. I think people are banning supports because supports are strong right now. And her being like, misogyny is everywhere.
Do you guys remember that one tournament years ago where like it was an all-girls team, and so the other team against the all-girls team banned all supports, and they actually got in trouble for fucking doing that? I don't even remember. Was that Dota or League? I can't even remember like what esports thing that was. I just remember that the team banned all supports and the women got fucking pissed about it. And I think if I might be remembering wrong, but I think one of them, after they got like told off for doing it, they were just like, I don't think it would have mattered what we even though it was literally based on their top played characters. I know, that makes it even funnier. It was League. Thank you. They were the women's mains. That whiny bitch was so up her own ass, so annoying, language policing, and then feeling her own oats. What a waste of oxygen. People still trying to make the word retard a slur in 2026 are horrendously awful. There was a period in time where people were getting banned on Twitch for saying retard because it was like this huge initiative to try and make it into a slur. And I was terrified of saying retard for like a good 10-month period because of people getting banned on Twitch for it. I was just like having to catch myself every time I was going to say retard and replace it with some other like nonsense.
And I'm like, yeah, that tracks. That fully tracks. That someone who thinks supports being banned is due to sexist reasons would also treat the word retard like the N-word. He's like, why are you allowed? Oh my god, I can't. But like, calling me a big Marvel rival streamer is also hilarious. Like, this is why I don't fucking stream the game.
Well, they do that in order to like try and kneecap you, right? Like, if they call you a big Marvel rival streamer, that then means that Marvel Rivals is somehow associated with your behavior. And if they don't want to be associated with your behavior, then they need to disassociate from you, which means they're trying to make sure that you never get invited to any kind of tournaments, any kind of official creator kind of nonsense for the game. They want to make sure that you are literally untouchable when they associate the brand with you like that. That was, again, like the point of the article about me being written as a thing towards gamer subs, right? They want to agitate the brand. They want to go after the brand, and they're using you as the cudgel to do it.
Community is awful. I saw this reply to her from someone. Yes, I am better than people who continue to say slurs even though they are told they are wrong. I'm talented, gorgeous, smart, politically aware, and incredibly creative. These are the qualities that specifically make me better than you. You, however, are an embarrassment.
If there was like a Geiger counter for narcissism, I feel like it just would have exploded. Holy shit, man.
Can't even support the big Yahoo nowadays without Twitter coming for your ass.
That's Jesus. Crazy that other bitch would have said that.
God. And another comment was talking about how I never talk about what's going on in the country.
Why should she have to? Like, again, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. People on like the progressive cult side are always like, you must say the thing or you are against us. Silence is violence. Whereas the rest of us are like, yeah, if you want to say something, fucking say something. If you don't want to say something, fucking don't say something. Like, do what you want, quite literally.
In the country. The country. USA. Me. Bitch, I don't care. Like, yeah.
Does she even live in the US? Like, I don't even know.
The issues going on in the country. The only country in the world. Like, come on.
I mean, that's I will defend her on that point. America basically is the only real country. Let's be honest with ourselves.
On. Yes, I'm Canadian.
Imagine being like so out of touch. You're like, this Canadian video game streamer must comment on American politics. Oh god, what kind of brain damage leads you to this place? This poor fucking lady, dude. She's like, I'm just playing my fucking Marvel Rivals, calling the enemy subterranean mole people retards. Like, what?
Bitch, what country? We never talk about the Vatican. No, I don't talk about Canada either. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to talk about current issues. But like,
to be fair, criticizing America is a core part of being Canadian. I mean, that's fair.
Typical Americans. You just messaged me. You're getting canceled again, by the way. Get ready.
Oh my god.
I
should have said by who? More fucking retards? Like
just bitched about it on stream. Absolute retards.
I love her. I love her. She is great. I hope she has many more years of streaming video games and not being forced to talk about American politics. And bless her. Canada's a strange place. A very strange place. Very fucking strange place. Man, that is the perfect response. That is how you should respond to these people. Contrast that with who is that other streamer who was getting harassed for like not having an opinion on something, and then like everybody was like, great, she's not gonna give in to the mob, and then like 3 days later she was like, I'm gonna talk about how. And was it Emiru? Oh fuck, she should have done exactly what this Fang person did, or Fan, sorry, just defaulted into Fang, and a Chinese spy kicked in. I wanted to bring this up because it makes, I think, a good point that I talk about frequently. Where, like, there's a clip of Emiru here, which, holy shit, her hair is so beautiful here. I don't know how to tell if someone's wearing a wig, so I don't know if this is her real hair or if it's a wig, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Who did that dye job? They're amazing. I want to touch it. You want to eat that hair? Yeah, it kind of looks like it tastes like a berry candy. It looks amazing. It's a wig hair, her darker than sin. I mean, she could have dyed it, right? Looks like a wig. Well, regardless, it's very pretty, and I like it. I also like how the cat tower is cheese. I want a cheese tower, because I have a cheese cat.
Did you think you had it? No, I didn't think that I had it, but I saw it was like the very first thing on the report, and I was like, what the fuck is syphilis? Oh, it's an STD. Oh, why did I think it was like a disease or I guess like an STD is a disease. Oh, well that makes more sense why it was on the blood test. I didn't know. I didn't.
We both have retard orange cats. Look at him go.
Well, I did take sex ed in school, but I feel like all that they taught us about in mine was like AIDS, HIV, gonorrhea, and crabs. I don't remember them talking about syphilis. What do you think the D on STD is for? Wait a second, you're right. Wait a second. Oh.
So obviously she's just talking about how she went and got like a blood test, I'm guessing, done or some shit. And part of the panel was like, it had syphilis on the page. And this person posted the clip and said Emiru didn't realize that syphilis was part of an STD/STI disease until her chat had to tell her. And then Emiru said it was on her blood test at the age of 16. And they got community noted and said streamer Emiru only talks about the blood test results from a doctor's appointment. At no point does she mention testing positive or the part about being 16 years old. OP is lying, and that part isn't in the clip. And I've talked about for ages how obnoxious it is, especially like the people who tell lies about me. They'll post a clip of me, or they'll post a screenshot, and then they'll say something else about the clip or the screenshot that has nothing to do with the text of the screenshot, and they'll warp it into something else. And everyone will believe the text regardless of what the video or the screenshot says. And that's exactly what is happening to Emiru here. And I don't necessarily think this is the same kind of like coordinated harassment campaign that I was facing. It's just an easy way to get clicks while denigrating someone else and creating a false narrative that will get attention from people. And there were a ton of people reposting this and like mocking her for not knowing like what syphilis was when she supposedly tested positive. And so I'm really happy this community note is here, and I hope that this can happen more frequently, because this kind of engagement has been happening more frequently, where someone will just post random fucking nonsense lying about a clip or a screenshot, and people will believe the text over what's actually in the video or the screenshot. And it's infuriating. It's incredibly infuriating. So I really, really fucking hope more of these kinds of community notes get added to posts trying to lie and change the context of a clip or a screenshot. Thank God for community notes. The only downside about community notes is that if somebody has like a fucking gay ops Discord, they can downvote the correct community note in order to try and keep the misinformation there. And I've seen that a handful of times and it's frustrating. Community notes is a fucking battlefield. It is. Nobody wants to think for themselves nowadays. Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. And it's like, I can only imagine, because I've had it happen to me, like what other people will have to deal with when it's like giant lies like this. Kirsche defends Shiloh Hendrix for calling a child a slur. Clip starts up with Kirsche saying, "You shouldn't call kids slurs." That was probably the biggest and best cell phone. Imagine literally writing an article trying to slander me, and then the clip you post as proof proves you wrong in the first fucking second. Oh, nobody watches the clip though. One count of disorderly conduct has been dropped at today's court hearing. This was on March 25th. In the hearing, Shiloh's attorney, Brian Carolus, conceded the incident happened and that Hendrix used a slur towards a black child. However, he argued that speech is protected under the First Amendment. I can't believe that's a paragraph I have to read. He also contended that the speech does not meet the legal definition of fighting words meant to incite immediate violence. Instead, he described Hendrix's word as reactionary. A kid, the color of his skin was black, stole something from her. Carolus said, "I would argue that the color of his skin doesn't matter. You can call anyone stealing from you the N-word. I don't think you should call a kid that, because it's a child, but like, I understand where we are right now. And I understand most people don't give a fuck." He argued that the act of filming her in the aftermath was more provocative than her own actions. True, comparing it to people filming immigration officials with the intent to provoke. Someone filming someone with their camera is closer to disorderly conduct versus the use of off-color speech, he said. And then I wanted more information on it, so I pulled up an article. Court drops one of 3 disorderly conduct charges against Rochester woman in a viral racist video. Rochester, Minnesota. The woman who called a black child a racial slur in Rochester Park made her first in-person court appearance Wednesday. The April 2025 incident gained national attention and went viral on social media. Shiloh Hendrix, 37, is charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct. The court dropped a 3rd disorderly conduct charge against Hendrix on Wednesday. Her defense attorney, Brian Carolus, argued while the language used was offensive, she did not incite violence. Carolus said the charges should be dropped, even noting in court he doesn't believe the case will go to trial. I think it's very interesting, right, that he has to claim that she didn't incite violence, because, like, a word in and of itself like that does not incite violence. She's not calling for violence. She's not asking for violence. Just because a word happens to make some people fly into a frenzious rage does not mean the word itself is inciting violence. It means the people who fly into a frenzious rage are unable to control themselves. Liaison Doppelganger, thank you. You reserve the right to call anyone stealing from you child or not, whatever slur you choose. Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I wouldn't do it. I would not call a child that word, but that's just like me, man. Does it cause anger, alarm, resentment? Of course it does, but that's not enough, Carolus said. Agreed. Carolus also claimed the state has made a case about race and is unconstitutional. During Wednesday's omnibus hearing, Carolus referenced the First Amendment case of Village of Skokie versus National Socialist Party of America. This was a landmark decision of the Supreme Court of the U.S. dealing with freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. I didn't know that there was a Nazi Party of America. I guess if we have a Communist Party of America, a Nazi party also makes sense. I don't think either of them should exist, but you know. The 1977 dispute centered around a planned demonstration by a neo-Nazi group. Skokie officials tried to prevent the demonstration because it was home to thousands of Holocaust survivors at the time. We do a little trolling. If she used different language that was equally as offensive but not a racial slur, they wouldn't be prosecuting her, Carolus said. The viral video prompted calls for accountability from community leaders like NAACP President Awale Eligbididi. The fuck? We are outraged and deeply disturbed as a community. What occurred should have never happened, Eligbididi said in a May 2025 event. King DDD is like all I'm thinking about right now. Star Wars name. I just like, what are we doing? The more people try to cry about a single word, the more people are not gonna care about it. Regarding if Carolus believed Hendrix to be racist, he said no. Whether Hendrix knows the historical context behind the word, Carolus said he doesn't get inside their head. This is such a retarded line of questioning. You can say a slur and not be racist. Like, what is this? What are we doing? Like, look at how many fucking Spanish people sling slurs at each other all the fucking time. Well, hold on, man. I defend them. I defend our Constitution, Carolus said. Carlos told the court Hendrix's actions were a reaction to the black child stealing something out of her bag, and then someone filming her. Carlos argued Hendrix is a small woman and not a threat to anybody. If anything, she's the one that was provoked, not once, but twice, Carlos said. Rochester City Attorney Michael Spindler-Krage stated arguments by the defense are irrelevant, and there is probable cause against Hendrix for disorderly conduct. In what fucking way? She was being stolen from! Attorneys discussed the jury trial will most likely take place in mid-June, more than 2 months later than the anticipated April 13th trial. Why delay? The court also discussed allowing cameras into the courtroom for the trial. Spindler-Krage objected to cameras because minors will be called to testify. Carolus said he would be open to allowing a camera inside the trial because it would be educational for the community. I really hope that they do allow cameras. I really hope they do. Travis had quote retweeted it saying, entirely putting aside culture war talking points, I think there's an interesting pattern in female to males that they A, don't go through testosterone slowly at ages 12 to 16 and learn to keep aggression in check, and B, are socialized in female style conflict and debate. So here's a fun 6.5-minute video of someone who definitely should not be a lawyer.
I pointed you to the exact paragraph. It's her education. Stop because you don't want to hear what the argument is.
Stop! You interrupt me one more time, you are being held in direct contempt of court, and
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
wipe that smirk off.
I don't have a
your face.
smirk on my face.
Oh yes, you do.
I do not.
I am not.
I like how when the two women start fighting, this guy's just like, well, better pack up my stuff, cause it's gonna take a while.
I'm going to tolerate this from you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Fill out the request, get the form from our court clerk's office on the second floor, make sure it comports with what you've got already, get it filed, mailed in, whatever you need to do. Let us assess her request. If it's
My client's not seen her child. There is no order in this court, and there's been no jurisdiction found that this court has jurisdiction.
Is he like, I don't even know what they're arguing about? And like, both of them are kind of insufferable, but I'm more on the judge's side because the lawyer is more insufferable. I don't even know if like the lawyer's right about anything. I have no idea. She could be right. I have no idea, but she's so insufferable. I just don't care.
Over this child who has never lived in your county. Never lived. I did not. There was a pause. There was a break. I wasn't done with my argument.
And I was not done with my statement. You interrupted again.
I'm gonna replay that because this person does what everyone on the left does. And it's like, you saw that with your eyes? No, you didn't. Your eyes lied to you. I didn't do that. That didn't just happen. Look at the phone in her hands.
I was not done with my statement. You interrupted again.
And it just like threw the phone against the bench. Like, what? Why would you do that? Just straight up gaslighting. Yeah, don't believe your lying eyes, man.
Do not throw your...
I did not throw. It fell off the bench. Please stop stating things that are not true, ma'am.
Sir, you've got a room full of witnesses.
I do. I put
Yeah, we can literally see it from the camera angle. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling? Holy shit. It's like kicking dirt at the umpire. And it's just like, why? Why did you just toss your phone, you fucking freak? You know, a lawyer's job is to argue, but not over stupid crap. Had the phone been dropped on accident, she would have bent over to pick it up. Yeah, exactly.
I did. I put it down and it fell down. I did not fall.
Then settle down.
I'm not upset, and I'm not arguing.
I'm not upset, says woman who is very clearly upset.
You're not letting me make an argument. I'm not red in the face, ma'am. I'm not.
Stop. Our court reporter cannot get what we're both saying.
I am trying to make my argument. You interrupted my argument halfway through.
This
On
is
an
a panic
objection.
button that will get every available deputy in
Yes, ma'am, I'm aware. It's happened to
You're
me before.
interrupting. It has.
Yes.
Because you're out of line
Yeah,
with court.
I guess so.
I
Okay.
guess so.
If I push that
Or maybe
button-
because I'm a transgender attorney practicing all over the state.
Who the fuck? Why would you even invoke that? I also like the judge's response. I paused before she could say it, but she's like, I don't know what you are. Like, yeah, same, lady. It's like, how are you gonna go and pull the transgender card when, like, literally nobody cares? And this is why people are sick of it. It's like, you're getting criticized for being a shitty person or for having a shitty argument or for doing shitty things. And suddenly they bring out the trans card. It's like, nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares what you do. But then you bring it up and now everybody is going to dog on you for it because clearly you want to use it as some sort of defense. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know what you are.
You do, ma'am. It's not that you do.
I don't know whether
You do,
you're
ma'am. You do. You
other
do.
than you have just now
No,
advised me,
ma'am,
and
you
that
do.
doesn't have
You
anything
do.
to do
It's happened when we
anything.
talked on the
Oh
phone.
my God.
That wasn't talking, let me tell you. You were entirely inappropriate.
You were yelling
So,
at me, and I did not even know you were the judge.
And I didn't know you from Adam.
I said, my name is Rob Hopkins. I'm
Which
an
doesn't
attorney
mean
in
anything.
Oklahoma City.
No, sir, you did not.
Okay.
Okay?
There's no one there to know that, right?
Okay.
I
So
mean,
we
I would
are
believe the
pausing
judge
this
considering you just
until
tried to
you
lie
get
to us
the
about your
ADA
phone, so.
request form filled out and it gets processed.
So we're going to pause the hearing on jurisdiction that's been set twice. I drove an hour and a half to have the hearing. My client's available.
Well, maybe you should have had your fucking shit together before driving that far. What are we even doing here?
Telephonically, and we are simply not even taking testimony.
Is your client available telephonically?
Yes, ma'am.
today?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then get her on the phone.
Thank you.
Your Honor, to which we would object. This is as clear as the nose on my face that this woman will not appear before this court because she has a warrant or stealing.
Objection, hearsay. That's not true. And you read it.
That's not true. I feel like I've gotten to do that so many times over the past few days. And also, this dumb bitch just talking over everyone. Holy shit, man. Ma'am, not even your honor, right? Not even your honor, dude.
Fine, sir.
Don't put at me. It's over me. Or shot at me.
I'm not putting it on.
No, we're stopping.
Look at this fucking, he put his hands in his pockets, he leaned forward. This is a guy who has had a fucking enough of this individual. But this is also a guy who has learned how to temper his male rage. So he's not gonna fucking fly off the handle and deck this other lawyer, which, all of us would have felt very cathartic, but he's a very smart man for not doing that. You're so going to love the day that the shield words lose all power finally. So exhausting listening to them. I am very sick of the shield words, man. Your Honor, I would like to request new counsel since my lawyer is having a woman moment. It's just like, I agree with the fucking male lawyer, right? If this woman, supposedly, that the other lawyer is defending, has a history of not showing up and continuously wants to like do some weird like telecall thing, it's clear that she's not showing up on purpose. So like, why would you continue to play that fucking game? If he takes off the earrings, shit's about to get real.
Get out of my face, sir. Get out of my face, sir. Get out of my...
He's not even in your face. You're standing like a foot and a half, if not more apart. What are we doing here?
Face.
You should leave this county.
Get out.
I love how the other guy's just like, yep. You should leave this county. Like, he's not even yelling. He's just tired. He's just tired. And also, a very interesting point. This individual is trying to cosplay a man and doesn't seem to understand that men's personal space is typically not respected in the same way that women's personal space is. So all of that get out of my face posturing, nobody fucking cares. They're gonna say the actual man was yelling at the cosplayer like the other guy with the Karen trying to shout over them. The fucking woman LARPing was the first one to start raising her voice. I like, miss me with that shit, brother.
Out of my face. Get out of my face.
These people are my friends and you're being ugly.
And get out of my face.
You're being ugly. And this, he just walks away. So never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake, bro.
Put your hands back.
Why?
Because you're in direct contempt of court.
He shouted at me.
You shouted first,
No,
bitch.
I'm not being. You did not even say that I was in
You are
contempt.
in direct.
No, I'm not
Judge,
doing
I
my stuff.
apologize, but I felt very threatened by this person.
Thank you, woman in the back.
I've heard that before in this courtroom.
Wait.
Do not hurt me. Do not hurt me.
Your hands behind your back.
Do not. Are you throwing me over this?
Stop resisting.
You're not even throwing him. You lie as naturally as you breathe. It's fucking crazy. They're like gently pushing her into the bench so that they can handcuff her. And she's like, you're throwing me. You're throwing me over the bench. It's on fucking camera, you retard.
resisting.
Okay, put your hands behind your back, stop resisting.
You know exactly what's happening.
Why don't you all walk that way sometime?
I can't walk. I'm being thrown down.
What? Literally standing on her feet. I can't walk. I'm being thrown down. It's just astounding how much these people will lie when they get in trouble.
Just settle down, walk that way.
Go.
Settle down. Do not grab me. Do not grab me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh god, I haven't had enough sovereign citizen videos to scratch that itch. So seeing this retard getting what's up, oh, it feels so good.
You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You just take me. You just take me. It's so healing. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah, if you couldn't breathe, that's not what you would sound like, first of all. Second of all, I can't breathe is not some, like, magical incantation that gets the police to stop trying to arrest you. I know that's what a lot of people thought, much like with hands up, don't shoot. But that's not gonna get you unarrested, alright? It's like the old, call the cops, they can't unrape you joke. This is the, like, yeah, say I can't breathe all you want, it won't unarrest you, alright? Like, the Floyd Gambit. Like, you're not even black, why do you think that would work? You can't use the race card. Actual fucking demonic, yeah, they sound fucking demonic through the microphone, man. They're just like, ugh! It's like a demon trying to get free.
I can't breathe.
Put your hands behind your back.
I cannot breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Like, the only reason this is funny is because they're acting like some crazy fucking theater kid. Like, yes, this is my moment. If I just and say I can't breathe a million times, I will be the new national face of the movement. Think of all the attention I will get. Think of the tens of dollars I will get from my supporters. It's me. I have the attention now. It's also performative, man. Holy shit. The clouds? Yeah, exactly.
I can't move.
Literally sounds like when a fucking possessed person gets sprayed with holy water by a priest. Come the fuck on, dude.
Help! Somebody call 911! Please! 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 Please!
Maybe for Kirsche.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Holy shit. I think of how easy this would have been if you had just complied. Like, they might not even have handcuffed you if you'd been like, okay, my hands are up, I'm walking out, I'm leaving. Like, we wouldn't have had to go through the 8 stages of demonic possession. All right, like the poor cops wrestling with a demon. Holy shit! Someone who makes an indie horror game. This is like a great place to grab some sounds from, dude. I need an old priest and a young priest.
Somebody call 911! Somebody call 911! Somebody call...
They got your phone now.
How do they still keep making all of these demonic noises? Like, if you actually couldn't breathe, it wouldn't be so deep and demonic. Like, what are we doing here? What's 911 gonna do? Hold them down harder? God, I fucking love sovereign citizen shit.
Alright, we're gonna pick you up. Roll on the side.
No, I don't. Get a female officer now! Get a female officer now!
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Are you just giving away the game there, Mr. Drama Club LARPer? Are you giving away the game here? In what world would a male being detained be able to ask for a female officer and not sound like a disgusting pervert? Fucking caught. Not even this individual believes their own LARP. If you're LARPing as a man, there is zero world in which you are entitled to a female officer. That's very fucking funny. That's very funny. It looks like they've crossed the Rubicon and now they're on our side now.
Get a female officer now!
There aren't any.
There aren't any! Good. There shouldn't be.
I can't get up, I can't see. He just threw my glasses. I can't see.
I can't see without my glasses.
Put them on my face. No. Put them on my face, I cannot see.
Oh my god.
Please give me my glasses, I cannot see. I'm not trying to walk and I cannot see. I need my wallet.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, guys.
I wonder if they enjoyed getting treated like a man in this scenario. We had an update on this lawyer. Colin Rugg said, the transgender attorney who was tackled to the ground after getting into an argument with an Oklahoma judge has closed down their LGBTQ law firm. Damn, that was fucking fast! Rob Hopkins says, Hopkins Law and Associates is closed down following the incident. At this time, it is the right move for me to step away. We're closing our doors, but we would like to thank you all for your kindness, support, and most of all, loyalty for the last 13 years. The law firm announced on Facebook. And we got some extra body cam footage here. Hell fucking yeah, buddy.
All right, we're gonna pick you up. We're on your
No.
side.
No.
I don't. Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now.
There aren't any.
I can't get up. I can't see. He just threw my glasses. I can't see. Give me my glasses.
They lasted 13 years like this. Yeah, I'm impressed that they had a 13-year track record. I guess it must be a really blue county. I don't know, man.
Put them on my face. No. Put them on my face. I cannot see.
Sit up. Go.
Please give me my glasses. I cannot see. I'm not trying to walk and I cannot see. I need my wallet.
Judge said take him to jail for contempt of court.
Calm the fuck down, Velma.
At this time, it is the right move for me to step away. As many of you all heard, there was
they're probably gonna get like disbarred or some shit, right? Like was that bad enough for them to lose like whatever a lawyer license is called? I'm not sure.
An incident that took place in another county, a rural county, and there are more details of that incident, and I can't release that at this time. And being as that I believe that I first have grounds for discrimination lawsuit there in that county.
How in the fuck do you have grounds for a discrimination lawsuit? Literally everyone was still using your preferred pronouns. What? Your disorderly conduct is not because you're trans. Like what are we doing here? It's not like a shield for shitty behavior.
So I'm not going to leave the great state of Oklahoma. I will work, and people are, well, what are you going to do now, Rob? You know, I'll let you know, but like I've told everybody, I know that I am created in his image. I know that there is a bigger plan for me. I know that I will always land on my feet, and whatever I have to do is to make ends meet and to survive out there, I will. For all of you worried about my mental health, thank you so much. I appreciate those thoughts and prayers and good wishes and good vibes. I've got
Do they have like a Reddit thread positively reinforcing their horrendous behavior? Because like who was giving props to this? If you fear for your life as the qualifier, performative LARP isn't worth moving over.
Team of wonderful doctors. You can't go through what I can both medically and psychologically without being medically cleared.
What did they mean by this? What did they mean by this? Oh my god. Transgender attorney begs for a female police officer after getting tackled to the ground. Imagine. This has been the best story to follow. She was taken down and then took her colleagues' careers with her. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. If she had a functional law office, what about the other people working there? What the fuck? The job was clearly more about being an LGBTQ activist than it was about being a good lawyer. True and fucking real. They made the announcement February 11th. That would be unfortunate, yeah, if it was already closing back then. What were the responses to this? What's with the Taylor Swift hashtag? We're closing our doors. We'd like to thank you all for our kindness, support, and most of all, loyalty the last 13 years. Hashtag Taylor Swift. That doesn't seem real. There's no way that you would announce the closing of your law firm with a Taylor Swift hashtag. That's gotta be a troll. There's no way. There's no fucking way. Cocaine-fueled sharks are on the prowl in the Caribbean, and scientists are blaming partying tourists. I feel like if you have cocaine, why would you be dumping it in the ocean? I guess is my question. Hell yeah, yeah. This puts the white in great white, as it were. Thank you, New York Post. Move over, cocaine bear. Brazil! Scientists have discovered traces of nose candy, caffeine, and painkillers in sharks swimming in waters around the Bahamas. These blowfish aren't getting hooked on purpose. It's the fallout from an uptick in marine pollutants, per an apocalyptic study published in the Journal of Environmental Pollution. Pharmaceuticals and illicit drugs are increasingly recognized as contaminants of emerging concern in marine environments, particularly in areas undergoing rapid urbanization and tourism-driven development, the researchers wrote while describing the troubling sharkotics trend. Sharkotics. To see whether these marine marauders were under the influence, the team had reportedly analyzed blood samples from 85 specimens around Eleuthera, one of the Bahamas' most remote islands. The subjects were drug tested for both legal and illegal substances. Of the samples, a shocking 28 sharks spanning 3 species tested positive for drugs, the most common of which was caffeine. This was followed by acetaminophen and diclofenac, the active ingredients in the popular painkillers Tylenol and Voltaren. Well, these could be not from like dumping the drugs themselves, but just from like pee, right? Like, meanwhile, 2 of the animals tested positive for cocaine, which researchers attributed to them chomping on drug packets that fell into the water. At least it's only 2 cocaine sharks for now. They bite things to investigate and end up exposed, study author Natasha Wozniak of the Federal University of Paraná in Brazil told Science News. This reportedly marked the first time cocaine had been detected in sharks in the Bahamas. Trace amounts had previously been found in sharks in Brazil, and the first instance of the critters testing positive for caffeine anywhere on Earth. Is that because it's the first time they've been tested for caffeine, though? Because I feel like caffeine would probably be the most common contaminant of marine life, considering how many of us drink, like, coffee or game subs using code Kirsche for 10% off. Researchers noted that the drug-addled predators had been taken from popular tourist and dive spots, suggesting that they'd been exposed to wastewater from boats and urban developments, which may have been polluted with the aforementioned substances. That shark looks so fucking smooth. Can you imagine how smooth that must feel? I want to touch it. It's yet unclear what effects the drugs are having on the predator's behavior, but the researchers found changes in metabolic markers in sharks with contaminated blood. This indicated that exposure to this chemical runoff was causing them to experience stress and burn more energy while attempting to metabolize the pollutants, according to Tracy Fanara, Florida oceanographer, who was not involved with the study. The researcher previously helped produce Cocaine Sharks, a documentary on how sharks were potentially being exposed to cocaine from distribution networks operating in the Caribbean. Coincidentally, research on goldfish found that caffeine ups their energy and focus just like with humans, per Wozniak, although it's yet unclear how this would affect their toothier counterparts' behavior in the wild. Nonetheless, scientists found their accidental drug use concerning given the remoteness of the locale, suggesting that not even pristine marine environments are safe from the worldwide pollution scourge. We're talking about a very remote island in the Bahamas, lamented Wozniak. Fanara said that ultimately this narcotic trickle-down effect serves as a reminder that coastal infrastructure, tourism, and marine food webs are tightly connected. While interesting, I don't really know what you could do about this, right? Like, you're not gonna not sink narcotics boats just because a shark could get a high, right? Imagine the shark screaming, "Bring a shark officer now!" What would a shark officer look like? This thing was speaking about, I guess, New Hampshire SB 552. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. But a quote from the video is, if you are a woman with a vulva and you are uncomfortable seeing a woman with a penis, too bad. You have to get over it. Yeah, that's kind of what people have been told for the last, like, 15 years. And I'm pretty sure people are actually just fucking sick of it. There is no such thing as a woman with a penis.
I thank the Honorable Committee for having me here today. My name is Hazel Kane. I am testifying in opposition to Senate Bill 552. I think we just have to get something straight. We have to tell it like it is. Trans women are women. Some women are born with brown skin, some are born with light skin.
Please stop comparing you having a fetish, because I don't believe this person here is actually transgender, right? Remember the quote about most trans activists. Stop comparing it to, like, racial issues and, like, Jim Crow and shit. It's actually insane that these people do that and don't get more regulated, because that is an insane thing to say.
Some are born with green eyes and some are born with blue eyes. Some have uteri, some have vulvas, some have XY chromosomes and penises. And I'm going to be quite frank with you, and I apologize for who I will offend. If you are a woman with a vulva and you are uncomfortable seeing a woman with a penis, too bad. You have to get over it. There are women, white women, who are uncomfortable being around brown women. We did that a century ago with segregation.
Stop it! Stop using that! What is wrong with you? That's just like whenever people start invoking, like, there's a trans genocide, just like the Holocaust. It's like, how fucking retarded?
And with Jim Crow, people decided that because you had dark skin, you were more dangerous. You were more likely to commit violent crimes. And because of that, you had to be cast away. You couldn't be in the same restaurant as a white person. You couldn't be in the same bathroom or the locker room. You couldn't even drink from the same fountain. And we're in the same era right now.
This is an insane level of narcissism. What the actual fuck? Oh my god.
I think we all learned something, but apparently we didn't. We are saying somehow that because statistically people with penises and XY chromosomes tend to be more aggressive because those are men.
I don't think you want to start statistics posting a dear individual.
Somehow a transgender woman falls within those statistical norms. By definition, a transgender woman is not within those statistical norms. They are going out of their way to take medications to reduce libido and aggression. They are altering their bodies to be incapable of penetrating a person.
Are we real right now? Are we for real? Are we being honest right now? Like, even if we took this premise as entirely correct, and every single person who claims to be trans cuts off their penis, even if we accept that premise, that doesn't make them not dangerous by fact of that alone. What do you mean? You can rape someone without a penis. What are we doing here?
They are clearly not of the category that should be prohibited from these bathrooms. Some people are going to be uncomfortable. We cannot let their implicit biases, their irrational fears, their own trauma history take away rights.
Man just said, fuck their trauma. I need to whip my dick out in front of the women. What? What the fuck?
Other people are entitled to under the law.
Martha Troon to Queen's Union.
What? A Colgrave, thank you. That's a joke on Martin Luther King's name. I was like, what the fuck? Thank you. Took me a second, but when I got it, thank you, Colgrave. They're rational fears, and again, they do not have the right to go into the women's room. Yeah, access to women is not a human right. I don't know what this fucking is, man.
Society, and that produces discomfort to it sometimes, and we have to accept that. I will gladly take questions.
It's our human right to make women uncomfortable. What's truly amazing is the sheer number of contradictions in this ideology. On one hand, they claim there are women born with a vagina and women born with a penis, so why do they need gender-affirming care and surgeries to change that? The second thing is the comparison between women born with dark skin and white women. When you ask them if a white person can identify as black, the answer is always gender and race are two different things. Don't make that comparison. So make up your mind. That's another good point, actually. That was another good point that was made during, like, the Rachel Dolezal and, what was that fucking white guy that was LARPing as a black dude that was part of, like, the leadership in Black Lives Matter? I can't remember his name. But, like, with both of them, everyone was like, what the fuck is happening here? I thought race was supposed to be different. The same argument this person is making genuinely gives men in general the same justification for access to the women's bathroom. It could also be used to simply tell the 0.0001% women born with penises that they have to use the men's room. And if that makes them uncomfortable, then they just have to get over it. Yes. Very true. This random commenter continues, if there are women born with a penis, God, that sounds ridiculous. Then let's teach those women to accept themselves as they are, without hormones, without surgeries, without silicone in their chests, without facial hair removal. If you're comparing gender to race, then a white person can identify as black and vice versa. And you'll have to respect that identity too. In conclusion, this is ridiculous, but above all, it's dangerous for women. Get your penis out of women's spaces. True and real. Michael Hazel Kane is not a black woman. Wait, is he claiming to be black as well? What? He's a creepy and perverted exhibitionist man who wants to force women and girls to look at his penis. I'm not surprised. Hazel Kane is majoring in psychology, minoring in homeland security, national security intelligence, University of New Hampshire, class of 2025. I would not trust this thing with national security intelligence. Hazel in the news. Michael Kane of Manchester, New Hampshire, named to the University of New Hampshire's Dean list for fall 2022 semester. I don't know what that has to do with this individual. Michael Kane of Manchester named the university head dean. I guess maybe they write stuff? I don't know. I also don't know why this person is saying black woman, because he didn't say he was black there. But also, you know, what the fuck? I would love more information on this individual, because he seems very creepy. He looks like he sells secrets to China every fucking time. My tweet is incredibly fucking relevant. Once it's realized that most trans activists are autogynephiliac males or ideologues pushing their political views with an identity shield to prevent criticism, all of the power-hungry threats and graphic murder fantasies make a lot more sense. This is an evergreen tweet, much like Sam Hyde. White House applauds ban on transgender women in women's Olympic events. The International Olympic Committee announced that only biologically female athletes can compete in women's sports at the Los Angeles Games. Ahead of the 2028 Olympic Games in LA, the International Olympic Committee on Thursday banned transgender women from competing in women's events, a move that was immediately applauded by the White House. And Kirsche Coventry, the first woman to serve as IOC president, made the announcement in a statement Thursday in which she also said that all women who participate in Olympic events will have to undergo genetic testing to confirm they are biologically female. The decision comes as preparations ramp up for the 2028 Games in LA, and as the Trump administration aggressively moves to prevent transgender athletes from participating in sports not aligned with their sex assigned at birth. The White House cheered the decision Thursday, noting in a statement that Trump signed an executive order in February 2025 that aims to ban transgender athletes from participating in women's and girls' sports by denying federal funds for schools that allow it. At the time, the president said that his administration would not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. Trump has also vowed to deny visas to transgender athletes attempting to compete at the LA Games. That's a very interesting way to go about it. I never even thought that would be possible. The IOC aligning their policy with President Trump's executive order ahead of the 2028 LA Games is common sense and long overdue. White House spokesman Davis Ingle said in a statement Thursday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt credited Trump for the IOC's decision, saying in a post on X that his executive order made this happen. Coventry, in her statement, said that all athletes must be treated with dignity and respect, and that the IOC plans to screen athletes' gender only once in their lifetime. As a former athlete, I passionately believe in the rights of all Olympians to take part in fair competition. The policy that we have announced is based on science and has been led by medical experts, Coventry said. At the Olympic Games, even the smallest margins can be the difference between victory and defeat. So it is absolutely clear that it would not be fair for biological males to compete in the female category. In addition, some sports, it would simply not be safe. Now, we've seen that a handful of times where like women get their skulls caved in by men. That was perfectly fine. Next, they need to retroactively disqualify any trans athlete that has won a medal or title. I think we read something about that recently, didn't we? Where like some medals and stuff were nullified. Imagine a woman had to step up to defend other women, and we have to go to these lengths just to enforce common sense. It's a good decision, but it's still a testament of the current state of society. Oh no, I completely agree. Like I'm glad this is being done, and it's great to see happening, but it's crazy that one, we even need to be having this conversation, and two, that it wasn't just the case from the very beginning. Like, it's insane that we've had to deal with this clown world shit for so long. There is no official count of how many transgender women, if any, compete at the Olympics. In recent history, only Laurel Hubbard, a weightlifter from New Zealand, had been recognized as a trans competitor. Hubbard participated in the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, and she did not win a medal. I never understood this, like, line of saying that they're against it, right? Because it's like, okay, if it doesn't happen very frequently, then it should be no issue to put a ban in place, right? Because it's not going to affect many people, right? You shouldn't have any problems with that, right? Still, the IOC explained that its decision was the result of an effort to protect the female category in an Olympic context that would reflect the findings of the Working Group on the Protection of the Female Category, various IOC consultants, and consideration of recent developments, including an international human rights law. The policy was developed on the basis that it is universally accepted that providing for a female category is necessary to allow both males and females equal access to elite sport. The IOC said in a statement noting that the committee wants to ensure equal opportunities for female athletes in finals, on podiums, and in championships, and enhance the visibility of female athletes at the games to inspire and represent women and girls worldwide. The National Women's Law Center, a group that opposed Trump's executive order, on Thursday condemned the IOC's decision. Well, then they should probably be renamed because they are no longer the National Women's Law Center if they are arguing against something that protects women's rights, saying that the committee is embracing a policy that invites confusion, stigma, and invasive scrutiny rather than clarity or safety. Shut the fuck up. It invites confusion that they are saying no men in the women's category? Shut the fuck up. Vague and medically unnecessary eligibility rules do not protect women. They expose athletes to humiliating questioning, coerced disclosures of private medical information, and even traumatizing physical examinations to prove their womanhood. Brian Dittmeyer, the organization's director of LGBTQI+ equality, said in a statement, Can I just point out how funny it is that at the National Women's Law Center, there's a man arguing for men in women's sports, and if we don't allow men in women's sports, then it's going to harm women. Can we just take a moment to point out how funny that is? These policies will disproportionately harm women who already face suspicion and discrimination. Well, I mean, considering the last few times people were suspicious, they were correct. I don't really know what you're trying to argue here, Mr. Brian Buttmeyer. And discrimination, including women of color and those who don't adhere to patriarchal expectations of femininity. Bro, everyone expects female athletes to look like lesbians. I don't know what you mean by this. I don't know, what do you mean by this, bro? What a very German name you have there, Mr. Dittmeyer. What an article, bro. I hope that more adoptions of keeping men out of women's sports start happening, because that's crazy. A Thurston County man was arrested for the 98th time! In Thurston County, Washington, a man is in jail Monday after being arrested for the 98th time, according to Sheriff Sanders with the Thurston County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff says the man is a 4-time convicted criminal with 27 prior misdemeanors. This time, he allegedly led officers on a high-speed chase through Olympia after stealing thousands of dollars worth of merchandise from multiple stores. Deputies say the man and a woman in the truck were with him were also involved in a theft in Lacey just 3 days prior, where they were not apprehended. On the night of the man's 98th arrest, deputies spotted the truck heading north on I-5 in Olympia, and before even activating their emergency lights, the truck started to speed off. Deputies chased after him, but quickly stopped after an unsuccessful pit attempt as the truck sped into downtown Olympia. This guy's been arrested and released so many times, he's basically perfecting Grand Theft Auto methods for getting away from the police. Like, what, are we gonna let him hit 100 because he's so close before we finally just depose of him? Like, what are we fucking doing? Why is there even someone available to be arrested 98 times? At what point do we finally start actually upholding the law again? This is fucking ridiculous. You know, memorizing that guy's plate number is part of basic training. But man, how come people can play GTA IRL? That's a great fucking question. Next question. Vladimir Crystal, thank you. Do you get a prize at 100 times? You'd like to know. I need to know what happens when he hits 100. Do they just like expunge his record? He gets to start from 0. He plays on New Game fucking Plus. Like, what are we doing? What is this? The truck began blowing through intersections heading into Lacey, deputies said. They called off the pursuit again due to the extremely reckless behavior of the fleeing driver. Bro, you don't stop chasing a suspect because he's driving erratically. That just tells everyone, oh, if you're fleeing from cops and you drive erratically enough, we're just gonna let you go. We're just not even gonna bother chasing you anymore. You can gotta do whatever the fuck you want. That's insane. That's insane. A short time later, the truck was found abandoned near College Street. Deputies say they quickly found the pair walking in the neighborhood. Both suspects were reportedly taken into custody at gunpoint. Deputies confirmed that the woman was turned over to Centralia PD for organized retail theft. While searching the truck, deputies say they found thousands of dollars worth of stolen merchandise from numerous businesses inside. Additionally, the suspect had a custom bong device built into the dash of the truck so he could comfortably smoke drugs while driving. I have many questions. One, I need to see a picture of this. Like, what the fuck does this look like? I need to know what kind of powerful weed wizardry is at work here. Two, how in the fuck do you have a custom bong device built into the dashboard of your car and you don't get pulled over for that? Like, that's wild. You're not supposed to drive drunk. Why the fuck is this guy allowed to have a bong attachment in his dash? That's insane. You shouldn't be driving while fucking spaced out of your gourd, dude. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? And he's been arrested 98 times. And you're telling me in all of those 98 times, none of the police officers were like, hey, actually, you can't have a bong device carved into your fucking dashboard of your car. What? You forget if it's a Washington state law or a mandate from the governor, but cops aren't allowed to chase cars driving erratically for public safety concerns. That's so fucking dumb. That's so fucking stupid. Holy shit. Vladimir Crystal, thank you. It really is GTA gaming. This guy's gotta be one of the best players on his GTA RP server. Point of order, most departments call off pursuits because of combination of high speed and dense traffic. Basically, call off the chase because the odds of T-boning an innocent civilian approaches 100%. Man, the no pursuit laws are actually recently rescinded. Oh, finally. At least one good thing happened. A search warrant was also obtained for the driver's blood for DUI prosecution. They say the stolen merchandise was recovered from the truck in addition to meth, heroin, and fentanyl. This guy had thousands of dollars of stolen retail merchandise in the truck. Also meth, also heroin, also fentanyl, also had a bong, like, part of his dashboard in his car. This is the most Grand Theft Auto character I've ever read about. Cops stop following, but the helicopter usually stays on them. They fucking better, because that's nuts. Sheriff Sanders said the driver is a 4-time convicted felon for numerous thefts, has 27 misdemeanor convictions, 97 prior assaults. Today, he's back in jail for the 98th time on charges of DUI, eluding, and possession of narcotics. Deputies say once he's released from Thurston County Jail, he will face charges of organized retail theft in Lewis County. Why is he being released? Why? Why can't we just actually keep criminals off the street 98 fucking times and you're gonna release him on his own recognizance? Are we fucking real here, dude? Andimus, thank you. Level 98 mob boss. Bro was collecting the Exodia of drugs, just missing cocaine to finish the set. What the fuck, bro? What the actual fuck? That's insane. That's insane. What is happening in Washington, dude?